Hi everyone. Just securing the bus. So, yeah, perfect. Okay, hi Cheryl. I'm finally going for a walk. Hi Graham. Ricky. Okay, somewhere near here, not far from here, is one of my idols, Nikola Tesla. I'll go find him here shortly. So there's, I don't know what that is exactly, obviously some kind of historic power generating something. And there's something similar off that way towards the border crossing. But I think Princess Victoria, I think, Park is where the statue of Nikola Tesla is. So here's the thing. We have evidence of spies and criminal harassment. A friend, excuse me. So a friend went out of his way on his own time to look into, find some stuff just for fun, and he found somebody, Antifa type. I think the word is, I don't know what the word is. In a civil lawsuit, it would be defamation of character. There's a criminal variant. I might call it criminal harassment, but I don't know what it's actually called. That would take a bit of research, which brings me to tonight's subject: civilian investigators. I would really like to ask for your help. So this would need to be shared with Yellow Vest Canada, such groups as Yellow Vest Canada, to ask for other people's help. We can't do this by ourselves. We have to work together. Maybe you can't help as a civilian investigator, but one of your friends might. So, my friend, I met him just over a year ago, but we've been Facebook friends for a couple of years, and he found proof somebody is trying to, well, it would be, I don't know if criminal harassment's appropriate. So he suggested I could go to the place of employment and lodge a complaint with the employer. I suggested and reminded him that a more appropriate and reasonable means would be to send evidence by email. Email's reasonable. So one place to start would be if somebody can help us look for contact information for the city of for the city of Hamilton and employers. And the other thing would be the city of Hamilton's the day they meet in council. I would like to go to the city of Hamilton and make a submission to city council. But I would like your help to help me get to the city council meetings, day and time. Thanks, Noel. Hi, Shelley. Thanks, everyone, for watching. So behind me here is, I think this looks similar to what we have in Sault Ste. Marie for a power generating station. Though I don't know for sure, but I think an old idea or design identical to what we've had in Sault Ste. Marie, so I would think that's likely what it might be. You're right, Kevin, it should be public information. The thing is, we can't do this on our own. We need help. It's getting darker than I'd hoped to come out, but this is just the start of the rapids, and on the distance there's lots of rough water. It looks like a wall was built, just probably can't see it, but just where the calm water ends is likely where there was a wall built. Again, very identical or similar to what we have in Sault Ste. Marie for the one of the older generating stations. Okay, Cheryl, that's good to know. That they meet 3 to 4 days a week. That'll make things easier. That's the thing, Cheryl. Again, I understand a lot of this, even the contact information for the employer, all of that's public information. But if we all work together, do a little bit, like I have a friend who's done a lot of research already into this, and he's found evidence, and he's saved evidence to show that this person has been at least criminal, and there's different ways to resolve that. But I think, like I told the sergeant when I showed up on Saturday with my bus, one of the things I want more than anything else is, one of the things I want is to make sure that every province has a special Crown attorney to prosecute criminal cops. When they don't do their jobs, they need to be held accountable. And when a sergeant fails to investigate a junior member, that officer in charge needs to be held accountable. If there's accountability, the officers will start behaving. We see that in northern Alberta, where criminals are allowed to break the law. Homeowners are charged for defending themselves by any means. Leads the impression to criminals that they can break the law. Criminals need to be held accountable. Cops need to be held accountable. Prime ministers need to be held accountable. I'm asking for your help. I wish I could do it all, but I can't. I wish Justin Long could do it all, but he can't. I wish for a lot of things, but that's not reasonable. So I was gonna say, earlier on my way to finding a spot to park the bus, there was a Muslim somewhere near here, maybe just across the way there. He was doing a prayer. I think it's pretty easy to determine what's reasonable and what's not. So on the Muslim prayer, last week there was a post that was going viral, and a group of Muslims did their prayer in the middle of the road, in a parking lot, still in the middle of the road, where cars would drive. I'm gonna say everybody, the majority, spoke against it. Now here's the thing. If they had been reasonable, like most, because not everybody's decent, but most in Afghanistan were reasonable. Our interpreter went out of his way to go do his prayers, completely reasonable, so that he wouldn't be in our way. This guy earlier, he was facing the wall on the grass, didn't bother a soul, completely reasonable. Could you imagine the trouble he'd stirred if he would have done that, his prayer, in the middle of the road? So I'll just give you an impression as to how many people are on this road. I'll show you the background here and the waterfall, and you might have an idea as to how many people are driving up and down this road. I think anybody would determine that anybody blocking the road to do a prayer would be unreasonable. So, beautiful falls. Now, I don't have anything against Muslims. What I might say is, what I do have a problem with is anybody who's indecent. Like those guys doing the prayer in the middle of the road. Doesn't matter who you are. Like this person who is harassing me. Now, personally, I don't care if they're harassing me or anybody else. That's unreasonable. My friend who defended himself a few weeks ago, I haven't met him in person yet. He was charged for defending his friends. That is unreasonable. A prayer in the middle of the road, unreasonable. A street preacher being charged for praying, unreasonable. Praying and or preaching. Why was he charged? Why was the street preacher charged? unreasonable.
Yes. So pretty.
I'd love to meet that street preacher. Okay, here's another view of the, not much to look at this time of night, but so my idol is supposed to be over here somewhere. One of my idols, technically advanced engineering, design, and inventions. Nikola Tesla was advanced for his time. He, I'm gonna say, reinvented electricity. So, if it wasn't for Nikola Tesla, we wouldn't have the or access to electricity that we have today. He invented alternating current. Alternating current is you have positive and negative electrons in the same wire bouncing off each other. How that works, why it goes down the line, as far as I'm concerned, that's magic. I can't understand that, but that's beyond me. So let's just go back here. Lorraine Mazrol says, "Good evening, Martin. You are right. No one should be allowed to pray in the roadway. Just as no prime minister should be able to fund a terrorist organization. Just as cops should not be allowed to break the law. Just as it would be unreasonable for a cop to break the law. There's a magic clause in there where the words are, in the performance of their duties. As a soldier, if I function or operate within the confines of my duties as a former or previous soldier, like any soldier, like any cop, that would be reasonable. What else is unreasonable? Who else is not allowed to break the law? That's right, Cheryl. Oh, there he is. I see him. There he is. One of the greatest men in modern history, Nikola Tesla. We're, yeah, right about there. I'll have to cross the road.
You do that when you go to Florence?
So, he was from Chechnya, if I remember correctly, and or is it Yugo? Yeah, the former Yugo. Chechnya and or the former Yugo. Well, some of those, one of those countries, somewhere in that neighborhood, they're almost neighboring countries. That's where he's from. Grew up or born. I can't remember what age he came to North America, but he went back and forth between Canada and the US. A lot of people did about that time frame. Here's another angle on the falls. I should have come out earlier when it was daylight. But and there's a bridge over there, an arch bridge. But oh, I can cross the road up there. I'm not sure. I would think this building may have something to do with Nicola, but I do want to. Here's the thing with Nicola. I was a great fan of him. I never talked about him, and I met my boy a few years ago. It was about, I think it was. Was it 2009 I met my boy? He was about 17, I think, yeah. He also had a fascination with Nikola Tesla. We only talked about it a few years after we met, but that's kind of awesome. So, better at night. Well, I was impressed by the light show from what I've seen. And oh, there's I think that's a water tower up there too. Maybe one of the, I shouldn't say early water towers, but a cemented tank. So here's my chance to cross. There's a lot of cemented water tanks as water towers. A lot of them are bomb-proof as part of the. Some of them are as part of the. What's it called? The Cold War bomb threat nuclear survival plan. So I'm gonna do some zigzagging here. I just want to go back to, well, I want to go to the store, but I want to go see Nicola. I don't want to miss Nicola. So, or a statue of him. So here I'll just show the water tank. I'm willing to bet, I don't know 100%, but I'm willing to bet that's a water tank. And there's another building behind the water tank, the square building. I don't know exactly the purpose, but there's a lot of different parts to electricity generation. If I make it back to Chapleau, the small town where I grew up, north of Sault Ste. Marie, there's was it 10? No, that was, yeah, about 10 years ago, there were still signs of the wooden water pipe. So, and that was part of the generating station, the town's generating station at one time. There isn't a lot. Yeah. There's no names on the building, or it's not labeled in any way. Here's
look at the light.
Look, how do you call it? And then the light show kind of shines off the water vapors in the air. But hey, Al Cameron. I was hoping to meet with the Rolling Barrage, not in Barrie, but northeast of Barrie. They're stopping at the OPP station HQ in the town northeast of Barrie. I was hoping to be there meet with the Rolling Barrage, the motorbike rally to raise awareness for PTSD, I think. And then I was hoping to drive the bus with them to Barrie, but I got a chance to have an appointment on Tuesday here in St. Catharines, just outside of Winnipeg. Anyway, right now I'm just this here is one of my idols, Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla did so much. You're right, Dominic. So there he is there, and I'm just gonna go around the path and maybe on the grass, and he did a lot of things, and one of the, here's another stone with his name on it. There's a lot of things that run on direct current. Planes, cars, but we wouldn't have electricity in our homes if it wasn't for Nikola inventing alternating current. And he's done a lot of other research, but so let's see if we can get a grasp of this. This here's kind of a side profile with a long coat, and it looks like a gear or a wheel. He was born either in Chechnya or Yugoslavia before he come to North America. And Nikola wasn't born educated. He didn't come with knowledge. He was just a bright man with all the right circumstances that allowed him to, for lack of better words, invent electricity. So I don't know if I would be here if it wasn't for my counselor from South Africa. In Edmonton, some Antifa called me racist. Oh man, was I triggered. On Saturday, yesterday in Hamilton, people were applauding me because of how calm I was. In Hamilton yesterday, I was called a racist, but I wasn't triggered. But one of the greatest men was an immigrant. The potential is everywhere around the world, but it's unreasonable to accept known killers and or fund terrorist organizations with our tax dollars. We need civilian investigators, and it starts with you. We need your help. Even if it's looking up somebody's contact information. Don't have to message anybody. Don't have to do anything. I'll file charges. Wouldn't be my first time. Won't be my last time. But we need your help. somewhere along the road, I hope to meet somebody who could have charges against a Crown prosecutor, a police investigator. I'll file charges against them, but there needs to be evidence, and there needs to be a process followed. We should have a sit down, Dominic. I'm not sure when I'll be in Ottawa, but I am going through Ottawa. I should plan that for a Saturday, either to Quebec City or from Quebec City. But look, I'm just starting to heal. It's not my job to prosecute criminal cops. It's not my job to prosecute criminal prime ministers. I can file the charges against Trudeau. There's special clauses we have to ask for to file those charges. And those special clauses are reasonable because for a number of reasons, but I'll give you an example. There's 4, and I've talked about this before, but there was 4 Calgary City police officers that were charged. 3 of them followed the special clause. 1 of them didn't. So, the courts, or the judiciary, went back to court, asked the judge for another application. That is reasonable. But we need evidence. We need your help. We need contact information. We need addresses. We need letters written. Letter writing is probably the most important, one of the most important. If you can write an email, you can write criminal charges. I need a break from this shit, but maybe I'll catch that waterfall on the way back. This would be the small one from the US side. Hey, Mike. I imagine it would be about noon in Eastern Australia, in Brisbane. Monday morning and Loon Monday in Brisbane, Australia. When do you go to court next, Mike? I imagine you filed your court papers in the courts in Brisbane. So, right, and that was for child access, you said earlier, so, or parts thereof, so I would think, oh, and that reminds me now, something I just realized today. Um, so, okay, here's the thing. The new Supreme Court of Canada, Chief Justice of Canada, now his name escapes me. No, can't think of it. He said, the first thing he said when he was appointed to the Supreme Court of Canada is, the Canadian Judicial Council is outdated and antiquated. There's an article on it he wrote or submitted. That was his first submission as Chief Justice of Canada. Meaning, judges are not accountable. I have a problem with criminal judges. We need to hold judges accountable, and with that article from, I still can't remember his name, Chief Justice of Canada, I'll be able to make sure I have my judge in trial, because the Judicial Council of Canada is not accountable, which means judges are not accountable. I don't know where I'll stop. Here's one thing to note, and I can subpoena him to testify. A man a lot of you are familiar with from South Africa told me I should file criminal charges against the judge. I've already spoken with friends I trust about filing criminal charges against the judge. Nobody's above the law, not the Queen of England, not Justin Trudeau, not criminal cops. Thanks, Dominic. Well, there you go. Here's one side of barely noticeable from here. The waterfalls from the American side. With the traffic in the way. So, I have to be careful how much I take on. I'm up to here. And a friend offered or suggested that I could go to court on Monday here locally. I wasn't sure what to think about it, but I think just now I've decided to do that. That I will go to court on Monday as an observer, simply to see and learn how things differ slightly here in Ontario. Slightly because most of the Commonwealth countries, the British Empire, most of them all have the same laws, different words, processes, same law for the most part. So, talent search. Can you find contact information? Can you do web searches? Can you write letters? There we go. You can't really see that, but that's a thumbs up. I am okay, Connie. I don't know if I'm encouraged or what exactly, but oh, that's fancy. The Ferris wheel is just there. Not long ago it was in the distance. Thanks, Harvey. Connie. So a bit of an update. As a result of yesterday's events in Hamilton, a person has lodged a complaint with the mayor. A friend of mine, we've been friends for several years. I finally met him in person just over a year ago, and he found proof of this person from Hamilton who lodged a complaint. And so
in Starbucks.
So this gives me grounds for a reason to go to. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks everyone for watching. So this complaint from this person, I've got lots of proof to take these actions further. Got to develop a bit of a plan as to how I'm going to go about this. But I think criminal harassment would be appropriate against the other person. And I'm not sure I want to file I'm not sure I want to file I'm not sure I want to file a complaint with the employer, but it would be worth having the contact information for the employer.
Stop. No.
So, my friend, somebody in Hamilton told me different persons' names of people that were at the event. My friend found out all of that information by the research, the investigation he did as a friend. And when he told me the person's name, I could give him a hug. So, 10 o'clock for fireworks. So, I don't know what time it is. So talent search. We're hoping to find somebody who can help. Bill, it's almost winter. We'd love to have your help during the winter. when things slow down for the from the truck show season. I kind of want something to drink. So, just to reiterate, or I've a friend suggested I could go to court tomorrow, and I wasn't sure, but just a few moments ago I decided to go ahead and to do that for sure. You know, I have to minimize how much stress I expose myself to, but it'll be good for me to learn how they do things here in Ontario. I've already been to court here in Ontario last year, but it takes a lot to learn some of the different processes and modes of practice. So hey Scott. What can I say, Scott? Oh.
All right, here's some mascara.
Smells good anyway. Yeah. What did I find earlier? That was at the mall. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Kenneth. Tom says, you are doing awesome, Martin. Your voice is important and your journey is second to none. Appreciate it, Tom. As much as I need words of encouragement, I also can't do this by myself, and I've felt a great deal, especially thanks to Scott. But if I'm going to pursue any legal action, either for anybody, I need some help. Doesn't require boots on the ground, just somebody pushing paper, doing Google searches for websites, contact information, writing letters, compiling evidence. All of that would be great. I'll take it to court. We don't need lawyers. but the American Civil Rights Movement had three important parts. First, the encouragement, I think, was mostly brought by Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King. The second, I think, was the anger. I think I would say was driven by Malcolm X. And the third part was the legal actions. And Thurgood Marshall had lots to do with that. He was a lawyer, but the legal actions he did over the course of, well, his whole career, but I'm going to say early in his career is where he was brought to the Supreme Court in the U.S. because of several important cases, and those cases, as a human rights lawyer, is what has a lot to do with the American Civil Rights Movement and what it became. So, as Canadians, I don't think we need to get into the anger and all of that. I think France has that under control. But France also has an army of lawyers. Okay, I'm just going to step away from that for a minute so I can talk. But France has an army of lawyers acting on behalf of the Yellow Vests. And in Hong Kong, everybody's aware of what's happening in Hong Kong, but what they don't talk about with Hong Kong, the lawyers in Hong Kong are protesting. Human rights lawyers in Hong Kong are speaking up. Well, Dominic, I hope to go to Ottawa a few times, but I think I've already spoken with Scott, and I think I'm going to set up camp here near Barrie. And on Wednesday, I'm meeting with the Legion. We already spoke about that, Cheryl, that's right. So, well, let's talk about that. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Thank you, Cheryl. And Dominic, Martin, you need to set up camp. Yeah, I'm seriously thinking I need to stay in Southern Ontario through at least through fall. We'll see what we can do. The problem is some of my evidence is in Athabasca in Alberta, so I might have to make a special trip up there. But Tuesday I have an appointment here, so thanks to a veteran. Can't do this alone. I don't have all the answers. A local veteran here in the Niagara area got me the contact information for this next appointment, and that's likely gonna save my sanity. Can't do this alone. And hence the talent search. Hence my friend who found all the evidence gave me the person's name and related evidence to ensure that There's just a couple of pieces missing. Thank you, Lindsay. I'd love to meet with you. We'll do that Tuesday. I'll be in St. Catharines. We can meet. I don't know how far you are, Lindsay, from what's it called? From Hamilton, but there's another patriot who's north of Hamilton I want to meet with. I can't remember her name right now, but is Brantford north of Hamilton? I can't remember. Simcoe seems to be north of Hamilton, if I remember correctly.
Must be because moving land is climate control. You see?
Wax figures of movie stars.
Follow.
I kind of want to get something to drink. Here's a special treat. We call it the Sunshot. West of Hamilton. I could go west of Hamilton. I don't know if I'll find anything half decent to half healthy to drink, but I'm tired of all the Pepsi and
I'd have one.
Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, 403 West. I know 403.
Do you want Dairy Queen?
Maybe. We'll see when I get up there. You want to go on the other side or?
Family restaurant. Let's try that. I might be able to get some milk there. I think I'll try that. Talent search. Civilian investigators, it starts with you. I would say Cheryl already commented on here saying that she's volunteered to help. One of my friends, Facebook friends, several years, has already done a lot of the research. He gave me the name, where the name of the individual, the events that may result in I think I need to escalate those yellow. Yellow Harley. Beautiful color. That was a gorgeous color. I could get used to that color. Wonder if I could get a yellow pickup, big rig car. Hi. For one. Sure, window seat. Thanks. Can I start with some milk?
White milk?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll be right
So, talent search starts with you. Thank you.
You want a couple minutes? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no rush. I'll be back.
So somebody in Hamilton has lodged a complaint, and so that might be something else to consider as a civilian investigator. I think essentially my friend agrees with me. He watched a video and he said she was wrong. I agree with him, is probably the better way to put it. But as a civilian investigator, we need somebody who's impartial, who can call me on my bullshit. If I'm wrong, I would, to do this, to review the evidence in question, I think it would take somebody who can watch this video from Saturday and tell me that I'm wrong or that I did something wrong. I may have done things that might be questionable, but everybody who watched the video commented saying how calm I was, but some of my actions may have been questionable, and I considered that. But this person is suggesting that I've done the complaint suggests I've done 3 criminal actions. So we need somebody who can call me on my bullshit. I'm like to think I'm a big boy. I can take anything you suggest. So I'm gonna have a drink of my milk. I'm gonna look through the menu, and I'm gonna somebody wants to come in, so I'm just gonna go through the comments here. I missed it. What happened in Hamilton? What video? That's I don't know. Yeah, I can. Let me share the video. I'll attach it in the comments as I look through the menu. I'm not really hungry, but I really want to get back on a liquid diet. I got away from the liquid diet, and I missed the liquid diet. So now, okay, my phone is booting. My other phone is booting up, so I'm just gonna wait for it to kick in, and then I'll look for that video and I'll tag it in this, and both Lindsay and Mary will be able to review it. Yep. Okay, phone's up. Facebook. I think I know how to find the video. Just a minute. So I hope somebody can, as an investigator, I hope somebody can volunteer to watch this and tell me that I was wrong. If you think I've committed 3 acts or any criminal act, I need your help. I need you to tell me. Okay, I think there's 2 videos on Saturday. I hope you can. Oh, I'm forgetting. Not that. Okay, here we go. I forgot to. Okay, Lindsay is coming on. While we're waiting for Lindsay to come on, I'll. Okay, here we go. Comment. This is second video of Saturday in.
Did you get a chance to look at the menu, sweetie?
Not entirely, but this strawberry lemonade sounds intriguing.
Okay. One of those 2?
Sure, let's try that.
All right.
Seems in Hamilton. Okay. Approve. I've tried a second time now to add Lindsay. And okay, there's the link. Oh, that reminds me. That reminds me. We have a spy. So Yeah, I've sent the information of the spy to I've sent the information of the spy to the volunteer civilian investigator. So at least to have it as evidence, because the spy is likely working with the other person who lodged a complaint against me. Oh, look at this view. Okay, let's do that. Let's try this. Lindsay, I'm going to try to bring you on again. Thank you very much.
I'll check on you in a few minutes.
Okay, comment, block Lindsay, bring Lindsay Forbes on camera. Can't bring Lindsay Forbes. That's okay. Let's try this. Oh. So. Anyway. Okay. Thanks, Layla. So I'm going to try this. What's it called? I'm really not hungry. Strawberry lemonade. Yeah, so spy. Actually, there's yeah, there's a little bit of research we could do in regards to the spy. So, but it would take somebody local to the Hamilton. I shouldn't say Hamilton, but the GTA. Let's do that. Let's call it that. It would take somebody in the GTA area to find the spy. He's given us some great leads to find out who he really is. Ah, bonjour Jody. J'ai vu que vous étiez là hier à Calgary avec les Gilets jaunes. Okay. Nice. Right. Okay. Peter Fullerton. Nice to have you on. Shauna. In Niagara, Cindy. And we last spoke about maybe meeting in Manitoba, but I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I think Cindy. I think I'm gonna stay in the southern Ontario area through fall anyway. Maybe, possibly. I think a lot of that will depend on Tuesday's appointment here in St. Catharines. Okay, September, right. Right, you might be able to help in that. Just reminded me some of the veterans in the area might be able to help. I'll send you a private message, Layla. Thanks, Lindsay. Yeah. And yep. So Tuesday morning I have an appointment in St. Catharines. Wednesday morning I have an appointment in near Barrie. So I would like to meet with everyone as early as possible because I hate to put things off because plans change. And then so
How we doing?
well, I think I'd like another one of those strawberry
Lemonades?
yeah,
Beautiful.
but I'm really not sure about I'm really not hungry, but I am awful thirsty. Can I get a milkshake to go?
Of course, what flavor would you like? I have pineapple or strawberry, or I can do pineapple strawberry twist with the dual milkshakes.
Pineapple
Pineapple.
to go.
One, two.
And
Another one of those
yeah.
guys. Not a problem.
Yeah, so it might take me a few days to send the contact or some of the evidence of the spy and how to. Well, I don't know that we really need to find the true or the real person behind the alias, but it's worth looking, researching. So, and I think they're using that. I think the spy is working with the person who lodged the complaint. So, no doubt. Well, the lemonade is $5. That's pretty expensive for a drink. So, anyway,
I'll get started on your milkshake.
thanks.
No problem.
Hey, Jason. I think there's a plan for some of us from Southern Ontario to go to Estevan. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. I really got to focus on me and getting better. Um, yeah, I really don't need to eat. I'm thirsty more than anything else, and somebody commented on eating an apple. The military's rule of three. There's 4 things in a rule of 3. One of them being the first one being 3 minutes without air and you die, 3 hours without shelter and you die, 3 days without water and you die, 3 weeks without food. So think about the water to food ratio. I'm hoping to go. Some of the patriots from Southern Ontario want to go on the bus, and that'd be great. But I've done a lot of healing while I was here the first 3 weeks, and that's what my appointment is for Tuesday. And to make sure that I have more time to heal, and so if not this time, we'll definitely meet in the future for sure. So I'm sure the spy is working with the person who filed a complaint against me, and I really hope somebody can watch the video, like an investigator, call me on my bullshit. The person is saying that I've committed 3 criminal offenses. So the police didn't think so. The police did not act on complaints. But you know, the police aren't always correct. So, and I hope to be here at least until October. And, well, Layla, it's easy to say bullcrap when somebody says I've committed 3 criminal offenses on Saturday, but I think my video shows everything. So I need somebody who can call me on my bullcrap. If I've committed a criminal offense, don't be scared to tell me. But but I hope to go to court with several people. I hope to bring several matters in court. Yeah, Cindy. But you know, that's the thing, though, is Dr. Peterson talks about that. You know, if he says your thoughts are not yours, because your thoughts are influenced by the people around you. If we all think similarly, we could be wrong and not know it.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well, I think I'm going to let everybody go. And I hope somebody can watch the video with an impartial eye. Call me on my bull crap. If I'm wrong, tell me I am. Doesn't matter if I was calm or not. What matters is if I broke the law. Cheryl, I posted or tagged, I shared the link in the comments in this video. So even if I was calm, I could have broken the law. Everybody's accountable. The Queen's accountable. The Prime Minister is supposed to be. The Queen knows how to behave. That's the difference. Police chiefs, police, child and family services are supposed to be accountable. And as I let you go, accountability, accountability, accountability.